I mean, you get a puck to this region of your humanity and then have headaches to the point where you feel like you can't play. Those sort of things do concern me. That doesn't feel like the type of thing that's like, you just shake it off, no big deal. It's a big deal.
I think I've been heaping praise on the Berube era of Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Yeah.
The one part of this era of Leafs hockey I will not be heaping praise on is the lying to the fans and media.
Okay. No one is lying.
Yes, they lied about Austin Matthews for 3 weeks. They're like, oh, yeah, he's fine.
They didn't know he was going to be out for 3 weeks.
I think they didn't.
You think 3 weeks ago they said, okay, he's out 3 weeks, but let's tell Sammy it's day to day.
I do believe that. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Like, I think, were they more clear last year? Maybe it's just something I didn't think of. But when you hear day to day, he's fine. Every guy is fine. Every guy that has been hurt, according to Berube, the next time, yeah, they're fine. They're fine. He's fine. No problems. It's like, why? Like, every guy has been hurt in the lineup that missed half, think of all the guys they've missed.
I do wonder if they had some pre-year meeting where they were like, all right, everyone who we think is ready to come back from injury, we're going to give one more game. Just give them the one extra game just to make sure
feels
they're good.
that way.
Yeah.
But
they're fine. Everyone's fine. He's got hit in the ear with a puck. He's fine.
in the lineup, they keep winning anyways, so don't worry about it.
It doesn't even matter who they play.
Yeah.
Right?
I think of all the guys that have gone out outside of Austin Matthews, the most, McCabe is a concerning one. He is a key cog to the defense core, and you want him feeling right. You want, how long concussions can linger and how they affect play or
nobody's
whatever.
used that word
no,
yet.
But, he got hit in the temple with a puck, so... And he's been okay one day, not the other. I don't mean to be our Dr. Jason Smith to tell you he's probably got a little bit of a concussion. But I don't know.
You just got to go back to my dad's era and just call it he's got his bell rung.
Get him back out there.
Cobwebs. Shake the cobwebs off.
Send him back out. No problem. But no, it's been a little weird the way they've handled it. I don't have a lot of nitpicks, but that is one of the things that's kind of driven me crazy about the Leafs so far this year.
All right. Sounds like he's going to be leaving Marner and Matthews together. Why don't we listen to clip one and see what he has to say?
Clip one?
The way they ended up last game, I think we start that way tonight. You change things up in games sometimes and it works, so you stick with it for a bit and see how it goes.
Okay.
I'm just interested to see how long this is. This is just the rest of the year now.
Well, they
talked about it yesterday.
Catch on fire.
Yeah.
It'll go as long as they feel like it's a good thing for their hockey club. The bigger question to me is, I think the analytics suggest that Tavares and Nylander are much less successful, right? That sometimes it's a wash with them, where it's like one goal for, one goal against.
I think they were worse than that last year. Maybe just a goal or two below 50%.
Yeah.
When they were on the ice, which is baffling, right? Like, given their talent and the money they make and all that.
Yeah, I don't need analytics to tell you that those two never been great together.
Yeah.
It's just, that is why it's a flawed thing to go back to Willie, to Matthews and Marner.
Maybe it's not if you just went to Nylander on a third line or on his own line or something different.
If the product of putting
Austin
Marner
wants to get going, and he needs. I told you how I feel. Like, you go and get your best player. It's like if McDavid's struggling, he's like, give me Leon back. It's just the way it works with.
When does McDavid struggle?
1-2 punch.
4 points.
Yeah, I know. It was unbelievable. But no, you're right. So, but the thing is, the byproduct of putting Marner and Matthews together usually means Tavares and Willie together, which isn't the best, I don't think, output of their skills and their lines. And I think it's a necessary evil to have those two together, but it is what it is.
Robertson, Minton, Lorentz, Grabenkin, Dewar, Reeves is your bottom six tonight.
Yeah.
And looks like, I assume Myers is still in. Yeah, still playing with Morgan Riley, OEL, Tanev, Benoit, Timmins tonight.
You want to talk about Connor Dewar? I want
to talk about the
Minton?
back-to-backs. How about that? Your thought on all this hockey. Is this good for the Leafs? How to handle it? A lot of...
Yeah, I think they got kind of screwed over.
Schedule-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Is that related to that?
Sure.
Just so they can be on a bunch of Mondays sort of thing?
They wanted them on Mondays.
Yeah.
Okay. not only that, Amazon pushed that when we don't have the Leafs, we don't compete against them, right?
So they're either okay.
Like they just had their way.
Oh, so what do you mean? So like the Leafs can't play on like they pushed.
They can't
the
play
Leafs?
on another Monday that they're on.
Wow, that's interesting. You think that actually happened?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
I do.
Yeah, it's good business.
I think there is one Monday that they're on the same day. So they get a Canadian matchup,
Yeah.
Amazon.
10 p.m.
But the Leafs are like early, and then the game's later for Amazon.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with Four Nations face off, that little loophole, certainly there's a lot of, I know, we have them on a lot of Wednesdays. So certainly they've got some scheduling complications. They have 3 back-to-backs this month, as I mentioned. Why don't we listen to Craig Berube, clip 3 on the back-to-backs.
So far, it's been fine. We do have a lot, and we've made some adjustments where we put different guys in the next night and have a little more legs that are fresh. So those are kind of decisions that we got to keep looking at and going forward, is using the bodies if we have them, and get some fresh legs in there. But I think overall, our mindset is, playing smart. I mean, back-to-back games, depending on the travel and all that stuff, and that makes a difference too. But it's just managing the game more than anything for me. That's the most important thing when you're playing back-to-backs.
They've been good on back-to-backs this year.
Wow, listen, you just heard him, what he said. Like, so far, we're okay, so I'm not complaining, but I'll complain. Stand by.
Yeah.
If this thing goes south for us on back-to-backs, you're going to hear from me.
I do like the idea that they're talking about putting in fresh legs. Like Alex Nylander probably plays Saturday night if he doesn't play tonight. I bet you if McCabe probably comes back. If he doesn't, I bet Rafai gets in. Like, I like the idea of down the lineup, say, all right, let's put in somebody who didn't play back-to-back.
Keeps everybody on their toes.
Yeah, get the energy, get everyone involved.
And it pushes each player to be good when called upon, because you don't know when you're going to get your next chance.
Yeah. They've got
I went
depth.
through it with the Rangers. You're
waiting. You're like,
waiting and chomping.
Yeah.
And when you're in, you're like, I got to play so well that they can't take me out.
Yeah.
It's a big difference than going to work every day and feeling like I got my spot waiting for me.
Particularly down like in the bottom 6 forwards.
I think they're 3-1 in the second game of back-to-backs already this year. Like, they've played well. The only really bad one was the night.
The Toronto Maple Leafs may be taking a new approach to salary management, which could directly impact Mitch Marner's contract negotiations. During Kyle Dubas' tenure as general manager, the team didn't hesitate to spend heavily, and this trend began with a 6-year extension signed by Marner in 2019. At the time, Marner's $10.9 million annual cap hit set the market for superstar wingers, surpassing comparable players like Mikko Rantanen of the Colorado Avalanche, who signed a 6-year deal with a $9.25 million annual cap hit. Now, however, times seem to be changing. TSN's Pierre Lebrun recently reported that the Maple Leafs have implemented an internal salary cap, aiming to ensure no player earns more than captain Austin Matthews, who signed a 4-year extension worth $13.25 million per season in August 2023. The team's primary concern revolves around Marner's agent, Darren Ferris, who, according to Lebrun, might push for a percentage of the total salary cap instead of a fixed dollar amount. This could result in Marner's cap hit exceeding Matthews' $13.25 million, conflicting with the Leafs' new financial strategy. Ferris is known for driving negotiations to the limit, often taking his clients to free agency. This raises fears that discussions between Marner and the Leafs could drag on until July 1st, giving Marner and his camp all the leverage in negotiations. Another complicating factor is the rising market. Lebrun noted that Mikko Rantanen believes he could secure $14 million per season as a free agent. This sparks the question, could Marner demand even more? And would Ferris take that gamble, knowing the Leafs might opt to move on and sign another player? Marner has made it clear on multiple occasions that Toronto is where he wants to be. As a local player with deep ties to the city, he's expressed his desire to spend his entire career wearing the blue and white of the Leafs. However, staying with the team may require him to accept less than market value, especially if the front office remains committed to its new salary structure. Such a sacrifice could be vital for the team's collective success and to avoid financial issues that have plagued the recent past. While negotiations are still in the early stages, it's evident that Marner's future with the Leafs is at stake. Maple Leafs fans may need to prepare for the possibility of significant changes, but they can also trust in the player's commitment to the city and the franchise to find a compromise. The Maple Leafs' decision to implement an internal salary cap reflects a broader shift in their team-building philosophy. After years of prioritizing top-end talent with hefty contracts, the organization appears determined to strike a balance between superstar contracts and depth throughout the roster. This strategy aims to avoid the pitfalls of past seasons, where a lack of financial flexibility often left the team vulnerable in critical playoff moments. For Mitch Marner, this shift creates a unique challenge. On one hand, his value to the Leafs is undeniable. A consistent top scorer and elite playmaker, Marner has been instrumental in driving the team's offense. On the other hand, his ability to command a salary that rivals or exceeds Austin Matthews could put the Leafs in a difficult position, especially with a potential need to strengthen other areas of the roster. As the 2023-24 season progresses, the Leafs must weigh the potential consequences of sticking to their cap philosophy. Losing a homegrown talent like Marner would undoubtedly sting for fans and the organization alike. However, allowing one player to dictate financial terms beyond the team's structure could hinder long-term success and force painful sacrifices elsewhere. Adding to the complexity is the looming free agency of William Nylander. If the Leafs are to stick to their internal salary cap, they may also face challenges in retaining Nylander, who could command a significant raise. Balancing contracts for both Marner and Nylander within the new framework could prove to be the ultimate test for Toronto's management team. Another factor at play is the team's ultimate goal, winning the Stanley Cup. While star players like Marner and Matthews are crucial, history has shown that depth and balanced rosters often prevail in the postseason. If the Leafs fail to manage their finances effectively, they risk falling short of building a championship-caliber team, even with elite talent. For Marner, the decision to stay with the Leafs might come down to more than just dollars. His connection to the city, the fans, and his teammates could be deciding factors. If he prioritizes legacy and loyalty over maximizing earnings, there's a strong possibility that he'll work with the team to find a deal that benefits both parties. Negotiations will also test Darren Ferris, known for his hardline tactics in securing lucrative deals for his clients. While pushing for top dollar is expected, Ferris may need to weigh the risks of alienating the Leafs management and fanbase. A prolonged stalemate could damage Marner's relationship with the team and